Today in science class, I wore my cloud blouse today because we're going to discuss and discover the water cycle. And we're going to learn where water comes from and why it's so important that we take care of our water, which is called conservation. To begin with, these are our vocabulary words today, so I want you to say them after me. Water cycle.
Water cycle.
And then we have a lot of shun words. Remember in our class a week ago when we were talking about the shun words, the T-I-O-N words? Our first one is evaporation. Say it with me.
Evaporation.
Okay, evaporation. The next process in the water cycle is condensation. Say it with me.
Condensation.
Very good, very good. The third step in our water cycle is precipitation. Say it with me.
Precipitation.
Say it.
Precipitation.
Very good. And the last step in our cycle is collection. Say that with me.
Collection.
Collection. Very good. Very good. Okay, we're going to watch a little video that's going to tell us about the water cycle. The first we're going to see is evaporation.
When the sun comes out and heats up the water, it turns into vapor or steam. Helping to add vapor are the plants, trees, and the land because they lose water too. This is called transpiration.
Okay, she's given us another word. Let me explain that. When the sun hits the big bodies of water, rivers, lakes, streams, oceans, it causes it to become vapor. The water changes into vapor and begins to rise. That's evaporation. But trees and plants hold water too, and when the sun hits them, they also let their water go, which becomes vapor. That's transpiration. But for our purposes today, this is the first step in the cycle, evaporation.
When vapor in the air gets cold, it changes back into liquid to form clouds. This is called condensation.
Okay.
Those clouds get heavy and we start all over again.
She said what I was going to say. When that vapor goes up into the air and it gets colder up there, the vapor turns back into the water, and that's what makes the clouds. And when the clouds get darker and darker, we have the next step in our cycle, precipitation.
Precipitation occurs when there is so much water in the air it cannot hold on to it anymore. It will rain, snow, sleet, or hail. It fills up our lakes, streams, and oceans on the surface of the earth. The earth also soaks up some of the water, storing it in the ground until it is needed. This storage area is called an aquifer. Many people pump water directly from an underground aquifer and use it for their drinking water.
Okay, so precipitation is what? What did she tell us? What comes out of the clouds?
Rain or sleet.
Rain. Sleet. When it gets really, really cold, up north we hear about snow. All the things, all the way water comes back down out of the clouds is precipitation. And when it comes back down, it hits the earth again. And where does it go? Where does our water go?
To the lakes.
To the lakes. Oceans. And it also goes into the ground. It goes into all the bodies of water we see. It goes into puddles on our streets. But then it goes down into the ground. What did she call them?
Aquifer.
Aquifers, yes. When the water collects underground in storage areas, it's called aquifers. That whole process of the water going down into the ground is called collection. The water collects down into the ground. Then what happens? What happens after the water's collected? It's a cycle. So what happens?
Evaporation?
Right. The sun starts hitting the plants in the bodies of water, and it starts evaporating and brings it back up.
Miss, how does the water get out of the ground?
Well, that's what we do when we pull water out of the ground, and that's what we're going to get to next. That's a very good question. How do we use water?
We brush our teeth.
Yes, we brush our teeth. Where does the water come from when we brush our teeth?
The sink.
Right. We turn the sink on in the handle. Where's the water coming from? It's coming from these aquifers. We have pumps and we have engineering in place that pulls the water out from under the ground in these water aquifers that comes through our sinks and through our showers. And where else? Where else do we use water?
Take a shower.
Take a shower. Where else might we use water?
Go swimming.
To go swimming. Very good.
Go fishing.
Go fishing. But that's the water that's already there in this storage area. We have two different types of storage areas. And so fishing, those are stored in our lakes and our rivers. The water that's stored underneath the ground, we pull up and use. So what's the most important thing you're learning about this water cycle? Can anybody tell me what she said in the beginning? Did anybody catch what she said in the beginning about our water supply?
It's important to keep it clean.
It's very important to keep it clean. And why is it important to keep it clean? It's because it's a cycle. Do we make new water every day?
No.
Does the earth make new water?
No.
No. The earth uses the same water over and over in this cycle every day. The same cycle happens and we use the same water. So if we don't take care of our water, we have less water. And what's one of the most important things we do with our water?
We drink it.
We drink it. Thank you, Betty. That was so important because we can't live unless we have water to drink. Our animal friends can't live unless they have water to drink. Our fish in the sea can't live unless there's clean water in there. So if we don't have clean water to drink, we can forget about swimming, brushing our teeth, fishing, playing in the sprinkler. We have to have it first to drink. So clean water is one of the most important things that we need to be careful of and wise about. And we're going to take our weekly readers today, and we're going to break up into groups because we not only want to keep our water clean, but we don't want to waste it either. So each group is everybody's going to get the weekly reader. And Blue Group, today, remember when we did that public service announcement last month? We're going to do another one. I want you to use the video to film 30 seconds. I want you to describe the water cycle for me. And I want you to give me one reason why it's so important that we conserve our water, why we should take care of our water and keep our water clean. Red Group, today you get the computer center. I want you to use the graphic organizer program we've used before, Kids Picks, either one of the ones we've used before. And I want you to design the water cycle for me. And I also want you to give me one sentence as to why it's so important to keep our water clean. And Purple Group, today you get to go to the Learning Center, and there are poster boards on the Learning Center that are divided into 4 squares, 4 quadrants. Remember, we've talked about quadrants. And I want you to draw or use the Play-Doh or any of the materials on there to design the water cycle for me. And I want you to write a sentence as to why it is so important to keep our water clean. And when everybody's done with their projects, you get to present them to the class.